Intriguing magic of Allen. He will perform classic magic, sleight of hand magic, as well as mentalism, magic of the mind. Classic magic is similar to classic anything. It is simple magic, basic and often forgotten. Magic effects that have been replaced by large stage prop types of shows with large boxes, smoke, and mirror effects. Mentalism is magic of the mind, predicting outcomes of things before they happen, using ESP and other perceptions to accomplish this magic. Sleight of hand is the ability to manipulate physical objects such as coins, balls, scarves, playing cards to create magic. And here's Alan.
So far I'm getting them all. There it is. Here we go. Well, I thought they'd be here. I thought they would be here. Now, this needs a lot of info dust. This is called cups and balls. An empty cup, an empty cup, an empty cup. A little tap, 3 balls appear. 1, 2, 3. Empty cup, empty cup, empty cup. I put this one under here, this under here, and this under here. Tap, tap, empty. Tap, tap, empty. And, oops, can't lose the magic wand. 3 balls under the cup. So we have, oops, 3 little red balls. Take this one, put it in my pocket. This one, put it in my pocket. This one, put it in my pocket. Tap. This one comes back, tap. Whistle does help. And tap. it came back even if I didn't tell them. But you know something? You know what I didn't tell anybody? I actually used an extra ball. Let me show you. But wait, I used another extra ball. And I used it, wait. And of course the balls are too big for the cups. So that's really confusing. Now, I just want to show you something. Let me put some of these things to the side. See, some people think that the cups go through each other. They think they can just get right through each other, see? And other people think, see, these are made out of folio. See, they think it just goes right through. So that's the amazing part of it. Now let me see where I am. Okay. This is the interesting. I hope everybody can see this. Did you follow it? Okay. Now for this I need a volunteer. Well, it's a simple thing, really. And nobody's going to lose a finger, an arm, a leg. Yeah, if you just come forward, Warren. Well, the idea is, see, there used to be people that did magic. They would put blindfolds around their eyes and biscuits under their eyes, and they would drive cars and everything else. And the Rhine Institute said, if you can really do it, put it in a black box, seal the black box, and do it in front of everybody and say what it is. Now you have choices here. This has 6 pictures. This is a white dice, regular one, 6 numbers, and a red dice. So what happens is, whatever you put on top is the one selected. Whatever you choose, whether it's a dice or a picture. So the idea is you hold 2 in your hand and you don't tell anybody. And it's your choice what you want to put on top, and you close it. But what you do is, and this is not complicated. You write down on here privately in large letters on this eraser board what you put. If it's a 5, you put a big 5. If it's a car, you put a car. Whatever it is. And the rest you hold in your hand. All you do is give me the black box.
Oh.
And you put it on top, right?
You're not supposed to see this.
I'm not going to see it. No, if I see it, then there's no magic. What you do is you write it down. Everybody else can see it. Now this is one of the tough ones, believe me. Because first of all, I have to say whether it's a number or a picture. I don't know. It was 3 different choices. There's a white dice, there's a red dice, and there's a cube with 6 pictures. So I got to say, is it a picture? Is it a dice? What's the color of the dice, and what's the number? So there's a lot of possibilities. There's about 20 possibilities. First of all, I don't think it's a picture. I think it's a number, of course. And I think it's a medium number. It's like a 4 or a 3, but I'll say a 3. And I think it's a white dice.
It's a white dice, right?
How did I do? Did I do okay? I guess, was it 3 white dice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It could have been a red, it could have been pictures. So that's fair. So that's one of them. That's what I mean by mentalism. This is what I practice. Well, what I'll do is, oops. Warren was a perfect volunteer. After a while, I developed a lot of props. So what I try to do is, do you have the cap to this, Warren? Or, do you have the cap?
You dropped it.
Oh, did I? It could have.
Gotta go home with your prop. I know I got some of your ink on my hand.
Well, maybe that's it, I don't know. Somewhere it got lost in the shuffle.
Can you make it appear?
That I can't do. Well, I'll put this to the side anyway.
Did you find it?
Ah, here it is. Okay, I got it. You can't lose the props, right?
You did magic.
Warren, you were fine. Well, let me see what's next. Now this I use as my little prediction table. But I need another volunteer. I can put my hat back on. I'm not doing direct mind reading. But do we have another brave person? I'm going to shuffle these cards. You see that shuffle?
You said you were brave.
Oh, Dick is always brave. Now, all you have to do is I'm going to fan the cards, and you get this cardboard card, and you just stick it any place you want. Okay, good. Well, okay, go on.
I'm gonna bet back. That's a wimple I got. And you ain't got no nails.
Well, I'm getting them. But you stick it any place you want, in between two cards. Now I'm going to flip this over because I wrote something on it. So these are your two cards, right?
Right.
Now let me just find out if the two cards that you randomly chose were these. And you stuck it between the deck, not me.
That's what they are.
Is that the answer?
That's the answer.
And you could have stuck it any place you want.
Right?
Was that okay?
That was very
You can
good.
keep this as a souvenir. That's a souvenir. I told you this is some unusual stuff, but you know, so far the audience has been great. I should give you an applause. I did a show that the only one that would come up was an 8-year-old kid. It was the Ice Cream Social, where Kurt was. And the 8-year-old kid was the only brave one. And so I had to work with what I got. Now, I hope this one over here is not confusing. This is called Numbers in the Mind. And I'll tell you what it's based on. See, they said if creatures came from outer space, they would communicate with them by numbers. Because numbers have thoughts, and thoughts have numbers. Now, a lot of times somebody would buy a car, and they never saw this car before. And all of a sudden they start noticing the car all over the place. Now this type of car was always all over the place, but now they just became aware of it. If you would hypnotize them, their subconscious mind, they would tell you they saw this car all over, but not the conscious mind. So when somebody gives me 3 numbers, 1 through 9, no zeros, it kind of says more or less what's on their mind. Now, do we have any volunteers? It's just interesting, you know, what they're thinking about. I mean, you're going to volunteer. There's always one person that comes through.
Better be a clean mind.
Okay, just 1 through 9, 3 numbers.
3 numbers?
Yeah, just let me get a pen. I want to make.
I figured
don't wanna
1. I
answer
left my
the-
mind on hold 3.
3 numbers, 1 through 9.
Oh, you want me to give them to you?
Yeah.
How are you going to know what's in my
Oh,
mind?
no, this is-
I'm already telling you.
It's not the numbers I'm guessing. I'm telling you what's on your mind.
Oh, okay. 1, 3, 7.
Okay, this is what these numbers mean. Some kind of unexpected change, a change in place and plans, and a mail, M-A-L-E, not the post office, going out of his way for you.
Ooh.
So this is kind of what's happening now. Sometimes the subconscious mind picks up things before the conscious mind. Because what happens is, you ever see something happens with somebody, a couple's not getting along, or somebody, you can tell they're under stress. If you had to write it down, you maybe wouldn't have said that. But once you find out, you're not surprised, because you've been getting information that didn't really hit the surface of your mind. But it's been there. But that's what it means. Change in place and plans, a meal, giving you some kind of benefit, a help, or cooperation, and an unexpected thing, and also something about being in a group and doing something behind the scenes.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I guess so, we'll know tomorrow, right?
Well, I mean, does that follow what you've been thinking of? Like a change in place and plans and a meal going along with your plans?
Yes,
Is that what's like happening?
yes, for Thanksgiving, sure.
Well, okay, well, some people, it wouldn't apply to everybody in the world, but let's try somebody else too. Because this is what it's about. I mean, in other words, we're trying to tell you what's around you. Now, anybody else? Anybody else? Come on, I'm not going to take or an arm. There's got to be one brave person. So far, nobody's got hurt. So it's just three numbers, 1 through 9, no zeros.
687.
Ah.
What does that mean?
Well, what it means is you're kind of juggling something, and you're trying to overcome something, and there's something about a plane trip or something in the air. It could be like travel plans or something. Sometimes it's somebody flying in or you flying, but something about juggling things and some plans being uncertain, but it somehow involves a plane or going someplace on a plane or a family member or
Has to
somebody
be a
close.
plane?
It could be a train. It has to do with travel plans and things being up in the air, and a partner cooperating with you, but you're kind of like kind of uneasy about it at the same time.
I agree.
Okay, you agree? Very good. I'll give myself an applause. Anybody else? Was that many called? Yes. It makes sense to you?
Yes, it did.
Because
Not the airplane part, but the
travel.
yeah.
Well, I just thought you're going to help somebody out with an open hand. Like you don't expect anything back, but you're helping them.
That's right. Okay.
That's involved in the travel plan. Well, okay, okay. We're going to go on with something else. Well, well, you got an example of what I mean by the subconscious mind. But people have to think. Sometimes it even comes up with things that are just forming. Like I said, sometimes you get a feeling about somebody, you knew they were under stress. If you had to write it down, you wouldn't have written it down, but once it happened, you're not surprised. Now, the next one I'm going to do is somebody, well, we're going to use the board again. They're going to use the board. But the idea is somebody throws 3 dice, they add up the numbers of the 3 dice, and they put it on the first line here. So if it's a 4, a 7, and a 2, you go, that's 13. 4 and 7 is 11, and 2 is 13. 13 would go in the first line. So could somebody do that? And just come up and throw the dice and put the number 13 or whatever it is that it is.
You're going to have to count it for me.
Well, it's a simple, actually, it's a simple math thing, and all you do is you can
And then I
set
gotta
it.
write it on that board?
Well, you're going to write it down on this piece of paper. This is the tabulation paper.
And I gotta write it there, add them up and make,
Well, first you start with the 3 numbers.
that are here?
Yeah, well, no, dice, I set the dice. If you're not comfortable with throwing, you can set.
You know what, give me the board.
This right here.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna throw the dice and just add up the numbers.
And you're not looking, right?
Well, no, I'm gonna give you step by step. That's
Okay.
what to do.
So
There's
I
3
add the
steps.
3 up, all right.
Okay?
Go ahead.
And so you have a grand total.
Of the 3.
Right, now you pick up any one dice, just go one at a time, and read the bottom number. And write that on the second line. There's a second line. Okay? Now take the same dice, I think it was the blue one, and throw it, and whatever that number says, put on the third line. Okay? Now, you have 3 different numbers.
Right.
You have a grand total. Can you just write it real large here?
The grand total from all.
All of it. And I'm going to write the grand total here.
can't see it that good for the people.
Well, I'm trying to real life. Did you-
Yeah, but this ain't working good enough.
Oh, no, okay. I'm ready with this. This is the dry eraser.
That's why it ain't working.
You got a number? What is it?
Hey, good deal!
What is the number?
That's it.
Now, can I have fun with that? Come on.
There. No, I was right.
Oh, okay.
What do you think, I just made it up?
No, I know, you're adding it up. I didn't have the benefit of adding up all the stuff. I just had to come up with it.
Good job, honey.
Oh, thank you. So, people say she's a shill. She's not a shill. I gave her $5. Now I'm going to do one more little thing. And do I get another volunteer or a general thing? The idea is, could somebody, let's have a specific volunteer.
Lights going out now.
Now, I'll cut this paper whenever you say stop. Just tell me when.
Stop.
Right there. Now, you can pick it up. I'm not going to pick it up. You told me to cut it right there. I cut it. Now, read the first line. This is my prediction of what it was going to say. You need your glasses now. That's it. I'm in trouble. Now, mine says NFL teams Saturday and Set.
That's what it says here. NFL teams, Saturday and Saturday.
Oh, good. I made it. Now I don't feel so bad. Well, thank you very much. This is what I'm going to do, and I appreciate being here. That's called mentalism. We all have to have a word for something, and that's the word, mentalism. But thank you. I enjoyed it. Like I said, this is my fourth show for the Deborah Foundation. I said I'll do a short thing, and I did it, and you were a great audience. I'll tell you, the people that came up were wonderful. Thank you very much.